So good morning, everyone. My name is Jodie. I'm a Future Students Officer here at Southern Cross, and this is our Engineering and IT panel, which is part of our Open Day 2022 experience. So thank you very much for joining us. Before we begin, I just wanted to pay respects to our Aboriginal and Islanders past and present. And just recently I found out that in our local Tweed area, our tribes actually came from three brothers who came to the area over 10,000 years ago. So it was something that I found really fascinating, and I just wanted to share with you guys this morning. So as we begin, I'd like to welcome our panellists, and I'll get them to introduce themselves. So if I can start with you, Luke, down the end, and what your connection is to Southern Cross as well.
Hi everybody, my name's Luke Johnson. I'm a recent graduate of the IT course, so I majored in software development. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Rod?
Rod Barry. I'm a civil engineer. Whilst I probably haven't really a direct connection with Southern Cross Uni, I lived and worked here in Tweed and had to commute to Brisbane to study. And having engineering in the Gold Coast is such a godsend, I suppose, that for future generations. So.
Yeah, no, thank you. My husband's pretty excited too. He's an engineer as well. He goes, why haven't you guys been doing this? So we're pretty excited. Caroline?
Yes, Caroline Seaton. I've been... I actually came back as a mature age student to get my degree in 2009 and never left. I've been in the IT industry since I was very young, but came back to get that qualification. So, yeah, now I continued on and got my PhD, and I'm obviously still here.
Yeah, no, thank you. Steve?
Hey, yes, and I'm Steve Pudney. I'm a mechanical engineer by training. And I started off quite a long time ago, and engineering has taken me to 5 different continents. So many of us here are quite experienced as lecturers, and now I've kind of moved into the academic area, and I'm really enjoying that.
No, thank you. I'm sure the students really appreciate your practical knowledge as well, so thank you. If I can just ask you firstly to just explain that difference between civil and mechanical, because there's sort of 2 of our mainstreams.
Well, really, quite simply, mechanical, if it moves, it's mechanical. If it's fixed to the ground, it's civil. So if you think of civil engineering as buildings, roads, bridges, that type of thing, infrastructure in general, and mechanical, they're the moving items. And so mechanical includes inside the buildings, the moving items like the lifts and the air conditioning. If it's on railway infrastructure, obviously it's the railway carriages and the rolling stock, those types of things. But engineers generally design and build those items, and it really just depends on, whether it's fixed or moving.
Yeah, no, thank you. Appreciate that, because I know it can be sort of, something that we'd like, oh yeah, we've heard of, electrical engineers, mechanical, civil, and it's, you don't always know what the difference is. Caroline, can I ask you to give us a little bit of a snapshot of our IT degree?
Yes, of course. So you're talking about the Bachelor of IT?
If you don't mind, that'd be great.
Bachelor being a 3-year degree with 24 different subjects, and we have it's a fully accredited by the Australian Computer Society, and what we have is a foundation of a whole lot of standard or foundational knowledge within IT that's defined by the ACS, the accrediting body. So everyone does a whole series of foundational studies to become an IT professional, so that we all have that core understanding. And then we have 4 different majors that people can branch off into, whether it's cybersecurity or software development. Obviously, Luke did software development, which has been, of course, a popular major for many years and will continue to be, no doubt. But we also do networking, so networking and cybersecurity, but we also do digital interaction and the user experience, which is more graphical and creative. As well as big data technologies, which of course prepare people for and using a whole lot of different aspects of technology, including engineering. We can talk about that if we need to as well.
Yeah, no, thank you. You mentioned Luke's one of our alumni, so really appreciate you coming and joining us today. Can I get you to sort of talk about that major that you studied in and a little bit about your experiences at Southern Cross with the IT Bachelor?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so I did software development major. Finished with a tech project at the end, which we built a program, a web-based app. It was a really good course. I sort of didn't know much about software development when I started. Carolyn was actually one of my teachers for the first programming units I did. But yeah, I got a lot from it, came out with a lot of experience. The teachers were very helpful. I recommend getting in touch with the teachers and getting as much help from them as you can along the way. Yeah, it's a really good degree. Happy with what I came with out at the end.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, and we just touched on that sort of level of support at Southern Cross, and that's something that we're really well known for. So the universities have a way of comparing ourselves. It's the Good Universities Guide, where universities are compared against each other across different metrics. And Southern Cross has performed really well over the last couple of years in that level of student support. So that's things like being able to connect with your academics, your fellow students, our careers team, helping you find employment whilst you're studying, and as you sort of look towards graduation, our Aboriginal and Islander unit to provide support for Indigenous and Aboriginal students. So the list is endless, but just wanted to touch on it then when Luke mentioned that he really appreciated that support. So changing gears back towards engineering now, Rod, can you sort of tell us a little bit about your career and where your engineering degree sort of led you?
Yeah, well, I graduated quite a while ago, back in the early 90s. And I spent a few years in a small consultancy in Lismore. So Southern Cross Uni is obviously in Lismore. And then came here to Tweed and Gold Coast. And that's when I did a bit further study in Brisbane, which was a Masters of Engineering Science, and had to commute. So, as I said, having something local here is going to be great. My career then sort of took a sidestep from general civil structural engineering to environmental kind of engineering, and I spent a bit of time in Brisbane. Later on, a few years in Darwin, and then back to southeast Queensland. So, I guess from that point of view, an engineering degree can take you to all sorts of places and all sorts of avenues as well. You're not necessarily sort of the skills you learn. You're not necessarily stuck in one thing for the rest of your career. It can definitely chop and change as you go through life, and life changes and so on. So, yeah, I guess it's taken me to a lot of places around sort of Australia, which has been great.
Yeah, and I do understand that there's fantastic opportunities, and we'll talk about the fact while we're here that 98% of our engineering graduates walk into full-time work. So definitely something to be considered when you're making choices between different degrees. Some fantastic graduate outcomes there. And as we sort of talked about with Rod, lots within Australia, but also overseas as well. So if you're interested in travelling and working while you're travelling, then, engineering is sort of certainly a worldwide skill that, is appreciated everywhere. Can I get you now, Steve, to maybe talk about some of the facilities? So I did mention to some of our people coming along to join us today that we have some fantastic facilities already in our Lismore campus. So did you want to touch on that?
Yeah. If you're an engineer, you're obviously very interested in testing materials for their strength and different characteristics. And so we've got a lot of equipment based in Lismore that help us to do that. We also have robotics. So if you are interested in control systems and getting robots to do different tasks, we have actually got a robotics club based around the facilities. The other thing I'd like to say is that even on the Gold Coast, we've got facilities here. We've got computer labs where we do simulations and quite a large crossover with the IT side of the faculty as well. And so the computer labs are quite powerful, and we use them to simulate all sorts of things. So that's just some of the things that, without going into too much detail.
I think they're pretty impressive, those facilities in Lismore. And, as we said, we do look forward to welcoming engineering to our course list here on the Gold Coast from next year. One more question for you, Steve. If I just wanted to sort of talk about how do we as a university help our graduates and also our current students connect with industry? And then we'll sort of touch back on some of our IT questions.
Yeah. So we're really passionate about connecting with industry, and in fact, all of our students get to study a work integrated learning unit, at least one, and that's where they actually get to work in industry and apply the concepts that they've learnt here in industry. So we really have a strong connection to industry, and that's whether there's manufacturers that are based on the Gold Coast. Some of our graduates have actually gone to work for manufacturing facilities, and that's.
Thank you. I think it's world's your oyster, isn't it?
Really is an important aspect of engineering to get that practical experience.
Yeah, and finding employment afterwards. Heading back over to IT now, Caroline, we did touch on one of our majors being cybersecurity and how popular it was and the need for it, once obviously people graduate. Can I get you to elaborate on that?
Well, certainly the networking and cybersecurity major that we have, we have that in a Bachelor of IT, and of course it's always very front of mind when we think about IT these days, and whether that's being able to manage and implement some secure systems for corporates and other organisations, but also looking at the cybersecurity side with looking at forensics and determining attacks and working on that. We've had some SEU alumni really walk into some fantastic jobs because cybersecurity is very in demand. But while we have the other majors, as I said, always software development, always in demand, and we work with not only web but also mobile and cloud-based technologies, as well as the user experience, as I said, with the more creative side, but also big data technologies, and it's really important how they fit in with engineering. So engineering, for example, will have engineering will have, of course, a lot of big data collected, whether it's sensors in smart environments, all of those things, or whether we're analysing images that are taken and so on, as well as things like digital twins. Now, Steve can talk more about this, but it's a digital representation of a physical system. And so we work hand in hand. In fact, you might want to talk about a couple of the projects you're working on. So as academics, we, of course, delve into research on all of these topics.
If it's okay, I'll just
go for it, Steve. Yeah.
So we're working with a regional council, and the regional council obviously has a water network, and we're using different technologies to discover water leaks. And some of the technologies we're using are satellites and imagery from satellites. We can discover water leaks using that. So if you want to find out a little bit more about how you do that, come and do engineering.
So I just wanted to sort of make mention that we've discussed a few sort of majors and different study areas within our two bachelors. If you're interested in finding out a little bit more about the individual subjects or units, then definitely check out the course pages. Within those course pages, you can actually look at what is covered in each of those individual units. So it'll just give you a better understanding in terms of what some of your options would be as part of those degrees. And I'd just like to ask Luke, maybe tell us a little bit about some of the units you chose, and then if I can also ask you to maybe give some tips to people as they're looking at making choices with what areas of study they'd like to consider.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Well, I obviously majored in software development, which is very popular, like Carol was saying. You do 3 programming units, like the introductory one up to advanced, and then you finish with a tech project where you build an application at the end. Like the electives I chose, they sort of differed. I actually did some user experience. I applied for that. You've got a lot of flexibility with the electives you can do. There was cybersecurity units in there. It sort of covers a large area. And then when you focus on your major at the end, obviously you concentrate on that. When it comes to what you can get out of the course and what, definitely the teachers. I'm still friends with some of the teachers, like me and Carolyn know each other quite well, and Alex Hendry as well. I'm good friends with him. He was a very good help throughout. And I came in as a mature age student, like I said, and I was sort of a bit hesitant. don't hold back from asking questions and asking for help. Like, it's a really good university here, really open. Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you for singing our praises. It's not like we didn't invite you along for that for that reason alone. We really appreciate it. We're going to open up the floor to questions. Please know that if we don't get the opportunity in the next sort of 5 minutes or so to answer your question, then these guys are going to hang around in the foyer outside. And we do have our campus tours leaving every 20 minutes today. Jump on one of those to check out some facilities. As well as our team at the welcome desk as well. So, is there any questions from the audience at all to start us off? Yeah, go ahead.
Probably to Rod. Where do you see, perhaps to Steve as well, where do you see the future of engineering going?
Digital and IT direction, really. You can't avoid it anymore. I tried and it doesn't work. Yeah, look, I guess those sort of, like in engineering, computer modelling and BIM systems, building integrated management systems, which is the digital twin kind of technology, it's just coming into its own now. And being able to physically see something that you're designing in 3D helps so much, especially in civil engineering for services and so on, to space-proof where we're trying to put things. I was lucky to be involved with the first stage of the light rail, and the services through the middle of Service Paradise were an absolute nightmare. But being able to model those in a virtual world basically just helps so much when you're, rather than finding things when you're digging up the roads and causing disruption to everyone. If you can sort that sort of stuff out early on, it saves so much time, headache, and money. So,
And I agree with everything that Rod's saying. I would add to that the collection of data and actually using data to model and simulate things. So cities, for example, in cities we've got a lot of traffic. We need to detect where the traffic's going, collect data on that, analyse that, model it, figure out how you can make the traffic run much more smoothly. So that's just one small example, but it's really good to, if you're going to do this properly, you need IT people as well. And a couple of years ago, engineering and IT came together under one faculty here in the university, and we're just finding so much benefit from that.
Sounds like a marriage made in heaven.
Yeah.
Well, we might wrap it up there, guys. As I said, I really appreciate your time and effort in coming out today. We love having you on our beautiful Gold Coast campus. If there's any questions, we'll just sort of open up the foyer outside, and you're welcome to have a chat to us there. Thank you.